It's the 30th of December 2025. We have just winding well to the end of the year. We're grateful to the Lord for giving us life, and we're back here to serve our motherland. Welcome to the program. This is Good Afternoon Ghana, but as you know, on Tuesdays, it is the Business Edge where we get into the conversation. That's one of the dance. We're live on Facebook and Metro TV Ghana, DSTV channel 277. Also on the Multi TV digital box, you can find us, and also live on radio at 94.1 FM. Coming up on the show today, we have quite a number of conversations. Of course, Harriet Addy will be bringing us the news updates. But we have a conversation with a gentleman. It's been a while we saw him. But Mercer Thompson is the acting deputy director general of the Security and Exchange Commission. We'll be having a conversation with him about work so far in 2025 and how it has been. So that's what it's going to be. And we have other conversations about Read and Rise, and we'll share with you what that is also about. So welcome to the program. You can share with us your thoughts right here on the show, on our Facebook, that is Metro TV Ghana, and also all the other platforms, right? And so Harriet Addy is standing by to give us the news updates. But of course, yesterday there was a challenge. I'll be asking her favorite Christmas song, and we'll go on that. So Harriet, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm okay. So I'm going to ask you your favorite Christmas carol.
Pentatonix. Mary, did you know?
Okay, you know what? Yeah. Think about it. Okay, you mentioned it, right? So after I'm going to ask you. All right, take us away.
Anyways, let's take a look at what is coming up this bulletin. The Ministry of Energy and Green Transition has addressed concerns raised by the Public Utilities Workers Union regarding privatization of ECG. We'll bring you the update. And the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat has conducted a series of raids on Monday, December 29, on Birim River, resulting in the arrest of 5 Chinese nationals. And in Business Edge segment today, we will have conversation with Acting Deputy Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission on virtual assets and more. There's and many others coming up shortly. Now, the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat conducted a series of raids on Monday, December 29 on Birim River in a targeted operation against illegal mining, which saw the arrest of 5 Chinese nationals who were allegedly engaged in unauthorized mining and washing activities directly into the Birim River. Reports said the action, which began around 1:40 p.m., focused on illicit mining site in the Achimota area within the Birim Central Municipality. During the raids, the task force immobilized 2 excavators found operational at the site. Authorities also seized a Toyota Hilux pickup and a Toyota Land Cruiser believed to be used by the arrested individuals. To dismantle the illegal mining infrastructure, the team destroyed several makeshift structures erected along the riverbank. This demolition included water pumping machines and other mining equipment found on site. This operation is part of NIMO's ongoing festive season crackdown, which aims to protect Ghana's major water bodies from further pollution and environmental degradation caused by illegal mining activities. And away from that, the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition has addressed concerns raised by the Public Utilities Workers Union, that is the PUW, regarding the selection of the transaction advisor for the private sector participation in the Electricity Company of Ghana. In a press release, the ministry explained that Cabinet, under the leadership of President John Dramani Mahama, approved the private sector participation in ECG in April 2025 as part of a broader reform agenda aimed at improving revenue collection and reducing commercial losses within the company. Now, while acknowledging significant improvements in ECG's overall performance since January 2025, the ministry noted that critical operational and financial challenges persist. These challenges, it said, continue to threaten the company's financial sustainability and the stability of Ghana's power sector if not adequately addressed. The ministry stressed that government of Ghana does not intend to and will not sell ECG. The ministry also affirmed its commitment to maintaining a constructive dialogue with the Public Utilities Workers Union to address its concerns. They urge them to calm down and restrain while engagements continue in good faith. Now we are joined by Reverend Enoch Paul Hayes. He is the General Secretary of Public Utilities Workers Union. Good afternoon, sir, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon.
And I believe that the statement from the ministry has allayed your fears, no?
Not really. We understand this. First of all, let me just extend warm greetings to all our listeners, especially the gallant workers of ECG, and then also to just make a small correction on the Deputy General Secretary. The General Secretary is Brother Timothy Nyame. Yeah, so like you rightly said, yes, we've received a message from the minister. It has not laid a ruin in this year. We are just trying to look at a point where it will be well established that we have an engagement, we have a roadmap, and at least whatever externally we want to do, we should first of all need to look at what ECG is doing now and the current, let me say, achievement and the hero. That should also be looked at before any other decision which will really affirm on external directives can be looked at. But we are expecting the minister. We know some of these things we will not say from the beginning we have not engaged in. We have some few engagement from the beginning, but what went on, we are seeing it to be in bad faith because we've all put our hands on deck, getting things to work for ECG, from the current CEO, the minister himself, and all the workers. We are all putting everything together. As you know, currently we are making a significant and dramatic success within ECG, where we signed on with him when we're making 60% revenue. Currently, we are making 90% revenue. Our losses were 27. We are 23 now. And then we can attest to the fact that the power is stable, even to look at the rainy season and then the kind of storms we even went through. We still have our system stable. So this should tell you Ghanaians and then also the workers of Ghana that, as a matter of fact, ECG workers can do and turn the situation around. We don't need any external forces to do that.
But the minister or the ministry also admits that there are operational and financial challenges. What does PU, wants to do about the situation?
Yeah, we understand that. What we want to, these are issues we can discuss, and we are not saying that we don't have those challenges. The challenges are there. That is why we have the government. That is why ECG is also there. If we can, Ghanaians can look at the assets of ECG, backed in by the government, or other facilities or other help we can get as a capital injection. We can get it. It's not only by trying to paint the picture as if we can do it, we can manage it. That is where we want to correct, because it has never worked within our area. We have sent all over Sub-Saharan Africa. This approach is not helping. So that is why the workers of ECG, led by PU and TUC, are saying that this is not the best approach. Let's look at it. Whatever we propose on the table is working. So can we continue to look at what we are all saying? We will get there, because we also believe, like the Chinese have done, the Chinese government, the energy sector there, they build it and they have it on their own. Russia has done the same thing. The same thing is done in Germany. We can do that. They are not different from us. We can build our own energy sector, believing in ourselves, just like we all said, we can do it.
And POO has been urged to remain calm as dialogue continues. What else are you expecting from government to believe that they are not going to sell ECG to a private company?
For now, I would say that they're not selling ECG as they have said, that the form and the way it goes is what we are looking at. Because at a point in time, we had privatization, we also had PSP. We are hearing different forms. But all these things, my dear sister, it's already, some of this aspect of the PSP is already happening within ECG. Currently, we have already enrolled on some private sector participation within ECG operations. You talk about the vendors, prepaid vendors. We have given quota to them. They are third parties or private sectors that are within. We also have what we call the LRP. We have Ghanaians who are investors who have come together to establish that is meter fabrication plants here, and they are supplying meters. They are erecting meters for ECG. And that is another PSP we have already done. The other one has to do with when we come to our mobile app, it's Aptel. This is a private sector we have already inculcated. So these things are already there. So we don't know what new they are trying to bring on board. And this is already working. So why won't you strengthen the system to work? We understand whatever they are trying to do. We already doing it, and it's working. Currently, we are seeing it working. We keep saying from the word go, it has to do with leadership. And thank God the current minister is really helping us with KPIs given to the board of directors, the MD, and then also it should be cascade downwards. We have it. Everybody's working now. We have measurables. If the person is doing well, there should be reward. When the person is not delivering, there should be sanctions. That is how it's done everywhere. And you will see efficiency. You will see what we call a value for money. And we'll be able to get ECG at a level we can compare to. That is the Chinese energy sector, and then also that is Russia and then Germany, as we all look up to them.
So with all being said, this is my final question. What measures, extra measures, is POO putting in place to ensure that ECG becomes better next year?
Yeah, so thank you very much. Already we have a roadmap with the management of ECG. We have some few, let me say, already teams within the regions. We have various committees in the region and then committees in the district among the workers who are to come together and look at the peculiar challenges within. And we are all looking at it to be working together. We know that things are not the same. We've rallied everybody behind. One of the things we are looking also for and promising Ghanaians is that come 2026, we are going to work harder. We trust that the power, as it's been stable, will be stable more. And we are also promising Ghanaians that we are coming, especially for those who are owing us. And currently, we are putting certain things in place. All those who are stealing power, we are coming after you. Those who are even stealing prepaid, we are coming after you. We have certain meters putting on board. We have certain gadgets that are able to help us also to track and trace all those people who are stealing the power without not passing through. And then the minister is also helping us to bring out some measures in legislation, which is by law, to make stealing of power very primitive. So that at least anybody, like it's happening in Togo and other places, when you steal power or you owe, then it becomes a criminal issue that they have to deal with you. I think these are things that will help us. So Ghanaians know that it is an offense to owe ECG. It is also an offense to a bigger offense to steal power. And I think this is how other countries have made it. We can also make it if these things are done for ECG. And also, I will say that kudos to the minister who has already, in a way, set a committee to review the cost of the energy being stored from the independent power producers. These are things we want to look at it, which will help ECG to do well. And we promise the workers are already doing their best. They are on the field all throughout, and we promise that they are going to give their best come 2026.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking with us. We have been talking to Reverend Paul Enoch Hayes, who is the General Secretary of Public Utilities Workers Union. Now, away from that, Medical Superintendent at the Lekma Hospital, Dr. Kuyajima Asante, has pledged to improve healthcare delivery, capitalizing on technology to deliver smarter and more patient-centered healthcare. She made this known at the launch of the 50th anniversary celebration of the facility.
Lekma Hospital, known as the China-Ghana Friendship Hospital, was commissioned on 21st December 2010 by then Vice President John Dramani Mahama. The facility had a staff strength of 334, which included doctors, nurses, laboratory personnel, and others. Starting as a 100-bed capacity facility, the average 100,000 patients who passed through the facility 15 years down the line has turned what began as a modest municipal health facility to a vibrant multidisciplinary hospital in need of expansion. Staff strength has more than doubled to over 700 to match the growing capacity and impact. Here is Medical Superintendent of Lekma Hospital, Dr. Kuyajima Asante, speaking about the journey so far during the 15th anniversary celebrations.
Over the past 15 years, Lekma Hospital has achieved significant milestones worth celebrating. We have expanded our clinical services to include specialist services in areas such as laparoscopic surgeries, urology, cardiology, neurology, orthopedic surgery, fecal emulsification cataract surgery, and endocrinology. Our emergency and outpatient departments now serve thousands of patients monthly, providing critical and life-saving care.
She noted the continuous contributions of the Chinese government to the hospital, with some staff benefiting from exchange programs in China.
Through collaboration with our Chinese medical team, we have successfully conducted over 80 laparoscopic surgeries and more than 140 cataract surgeries over the past 3 years, making a new era of minimally invasive and sight-restoring care. We have also implemented various public health and community outreach programs, bringing essential health services closer to underserved communities.
Showing appreciation to government and stakeholders, she called for help to upgrade the facility in expanding the infrastructure to accommodate the growing patient rate and help resolve the attrition rate going forward. Taking his turn to address the occasion, the Regional Health Director, Dr. Robert Amesia, lauded the contribution of Lekma Hospital to prompt healthcare delivery in the region. He pledged to address some shortfalls he had observed in order to further improve healthcare services at the facility.
I do know you have quite a number of challenges with your human resource, challenges with infrastructure, especially your emergency. When I came, I walked around there, and it's a very usual spectacle to see people on chairs receiving IV fluids. So the economic counselor, the Chinese embassy, the hospital is crying for expansion of the emergency department. And I know that is not your only problem, but for me, if I'm scaling and prioritizing your problems, I think the emergency sits among the top 5, and that is something we should look at.
A rep from the Chinese fraternity also shared a goodwill message, promising a lasting support from his government. Gracing the occasion were both old and new staff. The theme for the celebration was 15 years of excellence in healthcare, celebrating the past, empowering the future.
Now to some stories on Good Morning Ghana. Private legal practitioner and political aide to former Vice President Dr. Bawumia Kwesi Jr. has pointed out a proposal by the Constitution Review Committee describing it as a way to smuggle LGBTQ+ into Ghana's constituency. Also speaking on Good Morning Ghana, insurance marketer Edgar Weredu stated that some presidential powers must be removed.
The methodology used by this committee, there is a very important proposal by the committee, which I think must critically be looked at, because it seems to me that it's a way to smuggle LGBTQ protection into our constitution, where there's a provision in the constitution, in this document, that provides for the intersex correctional surgery. So there is let me just read this.
Okay.
So the LGBT protection provision, which makes provision for intersex correctional surgery permissible only in adult persons.
Okay.
I think that is quite problematic, where now we are legislating or introducing a constitutional provision, trying to give constitutional blessings to intersex, surgeries. I think it's quite problematic.
It's a very interesting.
There are some smoldering issues here and there. People felt that the president is too powerful so far as the constitution is concerned, and therefore, some powers needed to be taken away from him. And there's one particular statement that I enjoy listening to from H.K. Prempeh. He says what? For any good thing to happen, the president has to say it. For any bad thing to stop, it's the president that has to say it. We need to move away from that. And then, so yes, to some large extent, you can see that what they have done here, they've tried to, create some one or two things, but I still think that some powers that are given to the president in these things, they must remove them.
Okay.
They must remove them. I mean, if, for instance, you have the police council, you have the prisons council, you have the armed forces and what have you. And then the constitution says that a representative from the Ghana Bar Association. Why do you say that power should be given to the president for him to choose a lawyer? I don't think it's
necessary.
It's not. I mean, we want the president to stay somewhere and work. We don't want him involved in everything, and then he does what he likes. So he can come and say, because I'm the president, I veto this. I don't want it. And then no. I think, you see, those powers, we say we want to limit the powers of the president.
Well, away from that, the Parents Teacher Association of Adidome Senior High School in the Central Tongue District of the Volta region is calling on the government, particularly the Ministry of Education, to urgently settle outstanding water bills amounting to over 120,000 Ghana cedis owed by the school to the community water system to enable the reconnection of water supply. According to the assistant chairman of the PTA, the situation has forced students to trek long distances in search of water, a development that is seriously affecting teaching and learning. Our Volta regional reporter, Gabriel Asempa, has more.
Adidome Senior High School has been battling a severe water crisis for the past 3 years and has been without a reliable water supply following the disconnection of its main water system due to the accumulated unpaid bill of over 120,000 Ghana cedis. The situation has caused major disruptions to teaching and learning, compromised sanitation, and exposed students and staff to serious health risks. As a result, many students are compelled to fetch water from a nearby river, which is unsafe and poses grave health hazards.
Community water has come to disconnect the school from water, and as a result, our students have to move to the nearby houses and sometimes cross the road to look for water for their usage. So government alone cannot do it. So for me, I was calling on a benevolent organization, benevolent societies, individuals, people who are well-to-do, that we plead with them. They should come into the aid of the school.
The treasurer of the PTA, Lesbesa McCarthy, disclosed that the association has been forced to divert PTA funds meant for other developmental projects to pay the community water system in order to sustain water supply for students. This, he noted, is negatively affecting the execution of key projects at the school.
The disconnection that they did the last time this year was so severe. It was almost 2 months. There was no water. The Monday, we will have to go and pay another 10,000 from the PTA money to be able to sustain the water for the students to use before vacating. And so we are not sure. We are not sure of what is going to happen when students actually reopen in 5th January.
The district chief executive for Central Tongue has assured that water tankers will be deployed to supply water to the school, while expressing hope that the Free Senior High School Secretariat will settle the outstanding bills owed to the community water system.
The interim measure that we took, that is the usage of the tanker service. So when school resumes, on the 5th of January, it will be the same interim measure that should deploy, because the long-term measure will not be activated before they resume school. So we'll deploy the tanker services to reduce the situation.
As it stands, if the water crisis at Adidome Senior High School is not resolved before the school reopens in January 2026, students will continue to trek long distances in search of potable water, a situation that poses serious health risks and disrupts teaching and learning.
Well, that's it for the news update on Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Harriet Adi Desmond.
Right, Harry, thank you very much for bringing us the news updates, but you've got to sing the song, though.
Which is?
You said Pentatonix.
Oh, you know my voice is not that good.
Okay, so continue the song. There fares Noel.
The angel they say, what is that?
Okay.
At least I should sing.
Okay, Feliz Navidad.
Bronyan Chereba.
All right. Thank you very much for bringing us the updates. You're watching Business Edge here on Metro TV. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're talking about, something about reading. Our guest will join us. And later we'll talk to Mensa Thompson, who is the acting Deputy Director General for SEC. So stay with us. We'll be back shortly after this break.
Oh, Jose, and I made the Asamasio. Cannon Pano, Nasana, Mishia, what me. A drain I didn't quano. Kingdom Garlic Bitters. No benefit. Me benefit wine. Also, what told dear? Abrewa, the smile, Abrente, Mishuve. One antique crown our bread. No Kingdom Garlic Bitters, and any capsules. Nanya, what dear Bribia.
Kingdom Garlic Bitters, and the capsules. Assembia you a devil when ama when I say send your na my wife complain one personal Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules enti say sia mpaso aye de
Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules e mani tie ni asumdie be fi adrebia oba bia o de pu aha no edro ba ko pa wo hia ne Tremendous Capsules esiesie wo ma wo ye oba sima enro yi wo benya bi wo ba bia ye ton nro bia Kingdom Herbal no challenger.
In a world where security is paramount, peace of mind should be a necessity and not a luxury. This is why Virtual Security Africa has created a special discount package up to 30% on our 4 and 8 channel high definition cameras. We are more affordable now than ever. With as low as 4,130 Ghana cedis, you can get 4 high definition cameras, 3 terabyte hard drive, cables, and a digital video recorder. With 6,440 Ghana cedis, you will get 8 high-definition cameras, 3 terabyte hard drive, cables, and a digital video recorder. Why choose us? Because we offer top-tier quality you can trust, lifetime after-sale support, 2 years warranty, and you can view our systems remotely. Sidinoa PK. Spend less, secure more. Call us on 055-874-0764 and 050-2 331-4068. Virtual Security Africa. We will beat the advertised price of any security product of comparable quality.
This December, Faith Life Church crowns the year with 2 unforgettable nights of worship and power. On Tuesday, 30th December at 7 p.m., get ready for a transformational encounter, a night of music ministration featuring Team Eternity, Akase Brimpong, the Faith Life Collective, guest minister, Pastor Emmett Konedu. Then, on Wednesday, 31st December at 9 p.m., join us for a glorious watch night service as we cross from 2025 into 2026 under open heavens. With MOG Music and the Faith Life Collective leading prophetic praise and Pastor Daniel Yao Entry releasing divine instruction for your new year. Venue for both events is the Junction Mall, Nungwa Barrier. 2 nights, 30th and 31st December. 1 encounter with God. Faith Life Church, step into 2026.
I didn't know when this assassin.
But say if one the fasonia empra and fear.
Na I want him. And any them name fear.
Asemi to me a man and your best way. Who bet to me cool. Mr. David.
Welcome back from the break. This is Business Edge on Metro TV. I am Desmond Okrekudas. We're live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana, DSTV channel 277. We are live on that. And also on radio 94.1 FM. Of course, the year is coming to an end. And, you know, we're looking at people like Shadrach Odame Jari doing a few things for us. We'll get to that conversation later. But for now, let's read. Let's do some reading. I've got guests here. We're talking about Read and Rise Ghana, and Dr. Ikuya Anyeng Obeng is founder of Abene Inc. and also Karen Ewukusaki is administrative assistant also at Abene Inc. Ladies, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Okay, now we've moved from Merry Christmas, so Happy New Year in advance.
Okay, thank you. Same to you.
Doc, how's 2025? Right? Okay. Okay. Please put on your microphone. Right.
Okay. Sorry
now
about
you can
that.
go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say 2025 was innovative.
Right.
AI was introduced to everybody. ChatGPT. People discovering new skills, what they can do. People finding out that they don't need maybe to be expert or have some, you know, some of capabilities to do things. So I think 2025 taught everyone something, either we admit it or not.
Well, I could
Yes.
agree with you to an extent on that. And Karen, yourself?
I would say 2025 has been a year of open doors, new opportunities.
Right.
Because I didn't think I'll be here today. Today was part of my 2025 year goals. And I'm actually happy to be here. So thank you for having me. And I can tell that people have gotten new opportunities because of, as Doc said, the AI. So the AI has opened so many opportunities for people. Thank you.
Okay, that's good to hear. Now let's talk about Read and Rise Ghana. What is that? Read and Rise Ghana.
So the name quite sounds, you know, understandable.
Okay.
Read and you rise. This is a project that Karen came up with. I think she will dive deeper into what the topic is. But the main purpose of it is to make reading more fun within schools. So if you look at data says that there's about 81% of kids that have reading poverty within our schools.
Okay.
And this is quite across Sub-Saharan countries. And this is because, you know, we have our own languages, which kind of disconnect us us from the English language. And so the goal of Read and Rise is to be able to bridge the gap between the mother tongue and the English language, making it more fun, and how students can relate to reading especially. I don't know about you, but sometimes in class we were given books to read that we couldn't relate to, and that made it more difficult. But just imagine reading as something that you can relate to. It's about yourself, your future goals. I think that will encourage you to read more. So Read and Rise simply means that we are increasing reading within schools, helping kids to rise in a better way.
Okay, that's cool. She said you came up with this. What was the motivation? What got you to bring this up?
Okay, so my name is Karen again, and I'm popularly known as Auntie Karen or Madam Karen. So this should give you a guess about what I do.
Okay.
So I'm a teacher, so I'm in this field, and I know how it affects students. Students who lack access to books, students who do not have a community of reading, students who do not have help at home. So I know how it affects, 1, their confidence, 2, their fluency, 3, their communication skills, and in the long term, their academic performance.
Right.
So this helped me or inspired me, as you said, to come up with this project.
Okay, that's cool. What's being on the field?
Yes.
What have you found out that many of us do not pay attention to when it comes to reading?
Unfortunately, I should say, due to digital devices, children become easily distracted. I'm not saying that digitalization is bad, sorry, pardon me. It is good, but when we do not put measures in place to help the children study, they become distracted. So if we can take away the digital devices and introduce back the physical books, then later when they grow up, they can get the digital devices. Yes. So, and parents are just putting all the effort on teachers. Teachers cannot do everything. So this Read and Rise project is not going to only be based on teachers, but it's going to be based on parents as well. So it's going to be a collaborative effort to help students read.
Well, you raised some very pertinent issues regarding digital and also getting the hard copy book. I think for me, I have quite a number of hard copy books, but I don't remember the last time even, opening them. But Doc, what do you want to achieve with this in our schools, and how are you even going to get this initiative to get into our schools?
So most often we say that we have to learn to read.
Okay.
Right? But the right way to say is we have to read to learn. If you are able to read, you can read any other subject. So subjects like science, math, they all need your ability to be able to read. So the goal is to help kids go beyond what they are doing within their classrooms. If kids can read and understand, because it's not just about reading the words or the letters, but it's also about understanding what they read, then there is nothing else they can't be able to learn. To be able to understand science, astrology, physics, you need to be able to read, because each of these subjects contains letters, words, and sounds. So the goal is to inspire kids to know that they don't have to just stop at certain subjects that they are capable, but to know that if you are able to read, you can read subjects like astrology, which we all need to increase those within our classrooms.
Okay, that's good to hear. But what's the role of parents in this? How do parents come in to help children to read? And even with this initiative, how are you engaging parents to be part of this?
Okay, so when our initiative is going to be in 3 parts.
Right.
So we are not just going to donate the books and leave you. As Doc said, we want to increase reading among kids. So when we donate the books to the school, we will open reading clubs within the school. 1. 2, we will train facilitators to take over these reading clubs.
Right.
And before the student is onboarded to this project, we will test the student's fluency skills, the student's comprehension skills. When the student takes part in this program, we will take the parents' numbers. We will have a WhatsApp group such that when the child borrows the book, we can check up on the parents at home, ask questions. How is the student doing? So we'll be also combining the digital world with the physical world, just to help the student.
Okay, that's good. So What age are you looking at in terms of the age range?
So we're looking at the primary levels right now, but what makes our program kind of a little bit impactful is that kids will not be grouped based on their age, neither on their class, but they'll be grouped based on their reading capability. So any kids within the primary levels, but if you have a serious need, you may be put in a lower class. It's not based because of, but it's just based on your reading capability.
Okay, that's good to hear. There have been quite a number of concerns that children are not reading. We know that the Ghana Library Authority last year has done a lot in terms of putting up libraries across the country, but I don't remember the last time I heard anybody say, I'm going to the library to pick up a book and read. And as you said, because of digitalization, a lot of people are on their phones. And the kids, even I don't I don't write the last time I pick a book to read. Everything is on the phone. You download it and you go back. I guess for kids would have to find a different approach, for them. So as we wrap up on this, how are you putting this together? How can people be part of this?
Yes. So I'm actually working with libraries in the U.S. There are libraries that are for the work of pushing reading in schools, so they donate freely their books. We are hoping to get some of these books to give to students here in Ghana. And secondly, I am trying to put together a bilingual book that has both Twi and English at the same time, because we think that kids are struggling to read because there is a disconnect between the sounds in our local languages and the English language. So having books that are bilingual students will be able to connect the sounds together. So I'm trying to put a book that we're hoping to launch in February. And people can connect with us by looking at our social media handles, going to our website, which is www.drequiaobin.com, and our WhatsApp number, which is 956-293-8982.
Okay, so I'm sure you didn't get to the last part, the number, but when you get onto the socials, you definitely be able to connect with them. Auntie Karen, final, anything final you want to say, advice to parents to help their kids read?
Okay, so if you have provided your ward with a digital device, please make sure you put measures in place. If you are going to give the ward 2 hours maximum or 3 hours, make sure you are always there, checking what your ward is doing online. Now we have this Google services where parents can control what their child is. The child cannot sign up for anything without the parents' knowledge. So parents should put this in place and buy books for kids. Don't say because they have digital devices, they will be somewhere not bothering you. No, you have to be involved in their education. Don't leave it all to the teacher. The teacher can't do everything. So they should help the students. Don't leave it on the teachers. Thank you.
Right, but you mentioned that you're trying to get books from libraries from the U.S. How about ours also? Well, you talked about the tree thing also, but in Ghana, how is that space looking like? Are people still writing books that appeal to the young ones and on all of that?
Yeah, so we hope also to use the help of local writers as well, but my main goal is to have books that kids can reflect themselves in. So even coming up with teachers to write books for these kids, I think would be innovative. Rather than picking if kids can relate to local writers, we are going to use that. But writing storybooks that kids are writing themselves. Currently, there is a scholastic program across the U.S. where kids are developing the books themselves. So imagine a world in Ghana where we have kids writing their own books to tell their own stories and what happens within the walls in their classrooms. I think that would be motivating for kids to read more.
I like that idea of local because, again, there are concerns about the U.S. and Europe and some of the was the word how they're putting their culture out in literature and how it can affect children. So from our side, whether there are some cultural differences, it may be difficult for them to relate to some of them. So that's why I brought in the local writers. But if that's going to happen also, it's a very good thing. So ladies, thank you very much for coming in. Wish you a fruitful and beautiful 2026. And next year, make sure that you come around. We've got lots of activities coming up here on Metro TV. So next year we'll give you a call and bring the kids and the books and be part of our activities.
Definitely.
Thank you very much, Karen.
Thank you for having us.
And also to Dr. Anye. Let me mention it well. I don't want any trouble. Anye Obing.
Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you
and
for
Karen
having us.
Ewukusaki, they are from Obene Inc., joining us to talk about Read and Rise Ghana. We're taking a quick turn. While we come back, we're speaking to a man that I don't remember the last time I saw him here, or the last time we ever spoke to him since he got into his new office. But today he's joining us. We'll talk about all of that. We'll talk about SEC. We'll talk about a new bill that has been passed in Parliament and what that is about. So stay with us. Mr. Thompson is stay with us.
Branch manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
I didn't know when this assassin.
But say if one the home for Sonia Empra in fear.
Na you want him and anything in fear.
Asemi to me a man and your best way will be to me cool. Mr. Daddy.
This is an AML CFT sensitization program for our market operators. Parliament has passed the crypto bill, and so from next year, crypto is going to be legal in Ghana. So we're going to be licensing and regulating service providers. And we all know one of the key challenges with crypto is its risk on AML and CFT, one as AML's anti-money laundering and terrorism financing. And these are very key risks that we thought it's important that we take the market operators through those guidelines so that they understand what the AML requirements are, reporting requirements are, so that they can put measures in place so that we can, the crypto will be used properly, fairly, so that it will not be used, improperly to finance, terrorism and also to launder money through our financial system. And so that is what this gathering is all about. We're waiting for the president to sign the bill. Once the bill is signed, the guidelines will be published because the guidelines will be dependent on the bill. And so, but let me say that this is one of the most extensively consultative law Ghana has ever passed. It took us 1 year to develop this crypto law, and we've engaged a number of people, dozens, from the blockchain associations to the market operators to AML operators to auditors to accountants to banks to other non-bank financial institutions to government operatives. In fact, this is the only bill that we had to do a pre-laying engagement with the Finance Committee of Parliament even before the bill went to the House. And so this bill has seen extensive consultation. And so a lot of their concerns are properly captured in the bill. The guideline is just to provide extra clarity. And so hopefully in January the guidelines will be rolled out and the market operators will know. But then the National Virtual Asset Literacy Program has also been put in place to ensure that there is proper understanding. We carry the public along. And so even you, the media, will be doing proper sensitization for you. We'll be doing sensitization for the judiciary. We'll be doing some for other, critical stakeholders in the economy. So everybody will be properly carried along as far as the operationalization of the law is concerned.
Right, so that was Mensah Thompson, the Deputy Director General for the Security and Exchanges Commission, and he was briefing about the passage of the Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill that is marking a major step towards the regulation of virtual assets and digital finance activities in the country. He's joined us here on set, and we'll be talking about all of that. But before that, of course, we'll get into in May, where he was appointed to the role of Deputy Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, and we knew him before as that he was at the Alliance for Social Equity and Public Accountability, ASEPA. Mensah Thompson is there. You can join us on our social handles. That is Metro TV Ghana, also on Radio 94.1 FM. Mr. Thompson, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Happy Shabbat.
Many thanks, and many happy returns.
Right. How does it feel though, getting into a role? In fact, the first question will be right from ASEPA, and then this government coming in. Did you expect anything?
Well, thank you. First of all, let me wish cherished viewers a Merry Christmas, and to you as well, and to Metro TV. You are my family, basically. We've been in the struggle together. Yes. And so I want to take this opportunity to wish the staff, the management of Metro TV a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. First off, there's always a conviction that I've always had, and the conviction is that you can't do one thing for so long and think that you are the master of it. And so sometimes you need to change your environment and challenge yourself. And so after 10 years running ASEPA, in the 10 years in the civil society space, contributing to development of government policies, shaping the public financial management climate of the country, I've did a lot of work with the World Bank, with the European Union on the development of the anti-corruption framework programs and the public financial management programs. I served on the DLI Disbursement Committee, which is a technical committee that was reviewing the review committee of the World Bank that was reviewing some facilities that they have extended to government, I think, a few years ago. And so working, in that space, I had to challenge myself. Okay. Because it's one thing talking and always being, and like society organizations were labeled naysayers and professional Jeremiah some time ago, and they say all we know is talk. And so I felt I had to represent the society organizations and everywhere I am, and I was willing and ready to serve my country because I've served my country in other aspects, and there's a new area where I can also serve my country. And so it was an opportunity for me, and I want to thank His Excellency the President for giving me this opportunity to serve in his government. And I don't represent just civil society, I also represent young people. And you'll see His Excellency has given a number of young people opportunity to serve in his government and to develop themselves and to develop the country. And I can assure you that all of us do not take that opportunity for granted. And so we're doing our best to deliver in every corner that we are, so that tomorrow, when another young person is looking for an opportunity, they can point out to a number of us and say, hey, when we put these young people here, they performed. Look at what my brother Sami Jemfe is doing at Goldboard. Young guy, very exceptionally brilliant. And within a few months, look at how he's transformed an institution. Very young guy. And look at what he's been achieved. Look at what my brother Edmond Combat has done with Tor. Very young guy, brilliant, exceptional. We gave it to old people, and look at how they ran it down. And look at what a young guy has done with Tor. Look at what my brother Afechi is doing at Bost. Young guys, a number of us who've had opportunity, and you could see that everybody is serious and diligent about the work that they are doing.
Okay.
And I think His Excellency got it spot on by blending some senior people with high-level experience and a lot of sharp young people with the energy to drive things. And so, and that's what you can. For me at SCC, I'm even more blessed to have the former chairman of the finance committee as my boss, Dr. James Klucha-Abeji, another excellent man, you know, with over 20 years experience in parliament, in policy making, decision making, you know, a long-standing chartered accountant with brilliant track records. And with me, with a policy background from civil society, driving a number of reforms. And so together we form a very perfect pair that is reforming our capital market.
Right.
And so it's an opportunity, you know, for us to demonstrate that we can't only talk. It's not just about talk, but when given the chance, we can also prove ourselves. And so that's what it has been. And it's been a challenging and very exciting journey. And we're looking forward to more exciting moments. Our hope and our vision is to drive Ghana's capital market to the next level.
Okay.
And we've laid the foundation for that.
We'll get into the actual work happening at SEC. But again, you talk about the fact that people say some civil society organizations can only talk. And, you know, sometimes you get on the nerves of the people that you talk about. When you got into office, what was it like trying to change the mind of Mr. Thompson, the civil society guy, to Mr. Thompson in that capacity as Deputy Director General for SEC? Was it easy?
It wasn't easy, but I spent the first 3 months when I was appointed trying to understand, first, the organization itself.
Okay.
Second, to understand the market. And then see where the gaps were. And so I was primarily driven by focus and vision of where I think I could contribute my quota towards the development of the capital market and wherever I was placed. And so I don't think I thought about, that is going to be a challenge. The transition was personal on my side to transition. That, you know, you don't have the laxity to talk, anyhow, or, to do, because you are in a very sensitive office. And so you realize that primarily, you know, you have to tone down, especially on your media communication, and every communication must come out of your work, and apart from the work. Yes, and not really to come after you, because, I don't see that as coming after you. I don't see that. I think that our democracy have grown to the extent where we must be open to accept criticisms, constructive ones for that matter. Right. As for the bashings and the insult, you must expect it. It's what the president calls occupational hazard. Yes, once you serve in the public. You are not immune. Nobody's above criticism. And so be prepared to be criticized. But take all the criticisms, sieve them, put the good ones on one side, put the negative ones on another side, discard the negative ones, look at the positive ones, see how that can make you better in the work that you're doing. And so that's how I see it. And so I don't see, them as criticisms per se. And coming from a background of civil society, I'm one person who always advocate for constructive debate. Let's talk. Yes, let me see where your challenges are. And then if I can see really where your point is, what can I learn from your point? Because you don't have all the sense in the world, okay? And nobody can be a repository of all the knowledge. You must be humble enough to learn. And you must be magnanimous enough to admit your deficiencies and be prepared to learn and give credence and reverence to whom it is due. And so, yeah, I still talk to my colleagues in civil society on a daily basis, you know, and that, hey, I represent you here. So whatever you need, I represent you in the government. If where your challenges are, is it information, whatever it is, you reach out and we can. And so I'm in constant touch with my people, and we have a very fun relationship. And they've been very constructive in the criticism of the government on a number of things. We've seen the recent one coming up on this gold board issue. I've read all the criticisms. I've reached out behind the scenes to a number of them. We've exchanged ideas. We've seen, and I try to let them see the point. You understand? And so they don't mean bad. They mean well.
They mean well.
It's all for the betterment of the country and the betterment of the policies. And so when you are implementing the policies, you allow the policy to set. Let these guys send you the feedback. Take the feedbacks as gaps and see how you can fill those gaps so that you can have a wholesome policy that addresses all the inefficiencies in the system without leaving the gaps. And so we're taking all these as criticisms, and we're very open to those feedbacks. Very, very open. There is a government that listens. The conduct and posture of the president should tell you that this is a government that listens to the people. It's a government that is open to constructive criticism and advice.
Right.
Nobody is above reproach. And so we encourage people, please don't shy away from criticizing the government. We are open to your concerns, and we are prepared to work with you to address the needs of the people and to make sure that we make the lives of our people better.
What has this new role taught you about yourself?
That I can be very quiet. I didn't know I could be this quiet.
Okay, so that you can be very quiet.
You know, coming from a background where you're always talking.
Yeah, always and issuing statements.
I could write 10, 20 press statements in a day. Now, sometimes when the old you want to kick in, you kick yourself, Masa. Be steady.
Don't talk more.
You know, okay. But I think it has shown that that I could also be quiet, a bit more reflective. In the things that I do. And now everything that you're doing, you must know that you're being watched, and so you just have to be careful. So that's it.
Okay. How about? I'm sure definitely getting into the role. We may have seen on social media a number of things that are being said about people in civil society, or they have their own, they have where they belong to, and so when these kind of calls come, it is easier for them to accept. What do you say to that? Has that been it?
No, come again, please.
I'm asking that when it gets to, so we have media people, we have people from the civil society who get roles in government agencies, and people then say that, so whilst they were working all this while, they belong to this part, they belong to this part, and so we've now seen them.
Well, I don't think it's everybody who has served in this government, or any government for that matter, it's a member of that government's party.
Okay.
The president has been given enormous responsibility by the Constitution to appoint a number of people. The president can choose to appoint only his party members. He doesn't owe anybody explanation because it is in his bosom. The power of appointment is in the bosom of the president. He decides who he chooses to appoint. The president appoints Supreme Court justices. Are they members of his party? The president appoints a number of public officers who are not members of his party. And so every government will choose to blend one to satisfy his party, his base, to satisfy his people, his trusted people, and also to send a clear signal that the government intends to be inclusive, including gender inclusion and inclusion in terms of knowledge base, because you need people from diverse background to be able to bring various degrees of experiences on board to be able to run a country. And so that is the kind of thing that the president always taps from. But if you ask me, I've never started away from my inclination towards the social democratic order. I've never shuddered away from that, because I've always believed that this country was built on the principles of social democracy. If you've studied Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of this country, and how he ran the country, you could see clearly that the foundation of this country was set on the principles of socialism. And that's why this country thrives anytime a socialist government is in power. You cannot run away from that. But I prefer not to talk more on this issue, because now I prefer to stay away from the more polarized issues and focus on the policy issues. But it's very clear that this country always thrives when a socialist government is in power. You can debate it for as long as you want, and it is because this country, the foundation of this country, was set out on the principles of socialism.
Right. Okay. Well, if you just we're talking to Mesa Thompson. He's Deputy Director for the Securities and Exchanges Commission. They've got something new coming up, and we'll be talking about that. That is the bill, the crypto bill, as it's called now. So we'll get to talk about that in a bit. But getting into the role, SEC as a whole, how is it faring, or how did it fare in 2025?
Do you want my honest opinion?
I want your honest opinion.
Oh, God. Let me say that SEC wasn't completely different from a number of state institutions. I mean,
in what terms?
In terms of state of affairs.
Okay.
The structure of the organization, in terms of the strength of the organization itself, had suffered a bit. Financing was a challenge. The SEC is seriously handicapped. If you look at the role it plays, it's and to see that such an important state institution is going through these challenges is a cause for concern. It was really a cause for concern. The market, DDEP, completely eroded a number of the gains in the market.
Okay.
The market was poorly underperforming. And that, I mean, you can blame the SEC entirely for that. It was a government policy that drew confidence away from the market. And so our fixed income market was gone. Our securities market, equities market was experiencing diverse issues, ranging from liquidity issues to a number of things. The debt side of the market, which is the fixed income market, was gone. Government instruments, poorly challenged.
So basically, it was in a poor state when
yes, again, market infrastructure not available. SEC, no surveillance system to properly surveil the market. And so you realize why a lot of our market operators were in serious distress. I mean, when we took over the SEC, even the market surveillance department of the stock exchange was still manually, surveilling the market. They didn't have the tools to even have real-time visibility over the stock exchange and to be able to flag out all the necessary infractions, the insider trading, and what have you. And so, I mean, I would say our predecessors did whatever they could given the circumstance, but that didn't leave the market and the institution in a very good state. Government policies also did not help. And so when we took over, we realized that this was a big problem. So the first thing we had to do was to, one, put the institution in shape. And so we've done a lot of internal reorganizations and see how we can put the institution back on track. The second was also to develop the market, because our market is largely very small. Our market cap is still under $5 billion when other markets is in the trillions. And so you realize our market is very thin. And so you have to work in developing the market. And so we had to, I mean, it was just straight to work, right from day one, straight to work. And so we've been working with our team, and I want to thank my boss who gave me, the opportunity. You know, there's some bosses, they won't allow you to operate, but for having confidence in me and giving me the opportunity to drive a lot of the reforms, in the market.
Okay.
And so we've been developing a number of things. And so in terms of market development, 2026 is going to be a very good year. And I want to proudly announce that Ghana's capital market is back on track. Thankfully, due to government's policies, the stability at the macroeconomic front, our fixed income market is back, trading at very good rates, and we've seen that, the fixed income market that had almost crashed due to DDEP is back. Next year, we know government intends to even come to the market to raise some money, and so we're encouraging people that our fixed income market is back. The equities market booming. We've had our first IPO since MTN went public in 2019. There has not been a single new IPO in this country. And through a lot of work done at the Financial Stability Council and a lot of guidance from the SEC, we had our first IPO from First Atlantic Bank, which went public. And I want to thank my directors, the issuers department, who worked very strongly on this IPO guide and the guidance they gave for this IPO to be successful. And to shock you, First Atlantic Bank IPO oversubscribed by over 20%. Carbon came to do some right issue, oversubscribed by almost 30%. That should tell you that our market is back. Now, the biggest challenge confronting our market development agenda was that we saw that a lot of our market was overexposed to government securities. And that is why DDEP had a huge toll on our financial system, because most of our fund managers and institutions and pension funds were all completely overexposed to government instruments. And so what we did was, how do we diversify away from government securities so that in case there's any shock, we can be able to manage or mitigate those shocks. Let me complete that.
Sure.
And so we've worked very hard to develop a number of alternatives. So we've developed the guidelines for forex trading. We've developed the guidelines on asset-backed securities. We are currently working on the tokenization guidelines, which is going to give opportunity for people to be able to tokenize real-world assets, including gold, and be able to trade it on the blockchain. We've completed the virtual asset service providers bill, which is a crypto bill that is also going to bring a lot of innovative products on the market that is going to change the entire, the dynamics on the market. And so we've seen. So we say 2026 is going to be a very, very positive year for Ghana's capital market, and the signs have started from 2025.
Okay.
When people were complaining that there was no money, there was challenge point of view. Every single capital raise in the country has been oversubscribed. That should tell you that the economy is on the very good path of recovery. We're also working with the World Bank, IFC, to help our market operators. We've issued the green bonds guidelines, and we'll be working with them in the coming year to also assist market operators come to the market to issue green bonds to raise sustainable financing that also helps contribute to green environment and what have you, and to also drive the market. And so there's a lot of money available in the market. We encourage businesses, corporate people, please come. Let's guide you on how you can do proper capital raise to expand your business, to improve on your business. What we are doing basically is to create the pipelines on how a huge chunk of capital that exists in the economy will move through those transmission mechanisms to the various productive aspects of the economy that will create jobs and sustainable livelihood for our people. And so that is what market development is about. And so it's at the center of the vision of the new leadership of the SEC, and we're working strongly towards that.
Right. So I just wanted to say that, so you've done all of these in, what, 7 months? And
in the past 8 months.
The past 8 months. And you're saying that what you met wasn't too good. You've put in structures to make sure they get better. You even mentioned the 5 billion that we're doing less. So for that in particular, what is the target, or what was the target when you saw that, as you mentioned, that we're doing less than 5 billion, where other countries are doing trillions and all
No,
that?
market cap. I'm talking about
the market cap.
The entire market cap. The market capitalization is about 5 billion or so. Other countries are doing more. I think the cue there is that our market is too thin. We need to deepen our market and expand, the various instruments and portfolios operating our market, and make sure that there's a lot of capital available for businesses and for government to be able to do the necessary infrastructure that government wants to build. We encourage even government itself we can issue infrastructure bonds. We're currently working on the municipal assembly bonds, where the municipal assemblies will be able to also come to the market and raise financing to be able to execute their own project without relying on central government. And so there's a lot of market development activity going on at the SEC. One of our key challenge is our office space. We have a little challenge.
You need a bigger office space.
That we are working on, and we're talking to senior government officers to also support the SEC. We can get an office space so that we can employ more. If you look at the volume of work at the SEC, it's a lot. The SEC is one of the most busiest, state institutions. Right. The work doesn't end, because we have a lot of visibility over the market, from various aspects of the market: the fixed income market, the equities market, the commodities market, and now virtual asset is coming. We need the tools and resources to be able to, and we are a completely independent state institution. We don't rely on government subvention. We generate our own resources. And so we need a lot of support, to be able to expand, especially our market surveillance activities, so that we can continue to keep the market in check and be able to deliver on the services for the good people of this country.
Right. So basically, you just brought back the confidence.
The confidence is back, and the confidence is back mainly due to the stability of the macroeconomic front.
Okay.
Because when the exchange rate is low, when inflation is low, when interest rate is low, what happens is that money market instruments become unattractive. So you will find a lot of money trooping to the capital market, where people can get better returns for their investments. And so there's a lot of capital available, largely due to the stability on the macroeconomic front, but again also due to government's demonstration of commitment towards the domestic debt exchange program it inherited.
Yeah.
By paying on the coupons and all the accrual that had that it inherited, it sent a different signal to the market that indeed there's a government that intends on completing the DDP that the federal government has started. And so now it made investors more comfortable now to return capital back to the market. International investors who fled our market due to the DDP are gradually returning.
Okay.
And that's also a very positive sign for our market. And we thank the Ministry of Finance, led by Dr. Atuk Forson, for the great work that he and his team has done, the governor of the central bank, for also the great work that they've done in stabilizing the macroeconomic front to allow most of the policies and interventions we are putting in to work properly.
So SEC released a statement on the back of the bill that was passed in Parliament. I'm going to read that, and of course, with this, they're quite technical, so you'd have to do some explanation for all of us to understand. And of course, looking at crypto and how it is gaining some popularity in the country, also looking at some other things, the Forex and all of that. Well, this from the Securities and Exchange Commission Ghana says, hereinafter referred to as SEC, is mandated to regulate and promote the growth and development of an efficient, fair and transparent securities market in which investors and the integrity of the market are protected. The SEC wishes to inform the public and all market operators that Parliament has passed the Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill, and the bill outlines the legal and regulatory framework for regulating virtual assets and virtual asset service providers in Ghana. The relevant regulatory authorities are the Bank of Ghana, the SEC, and any other regulatory body prescribed by the Ministry of Finance. All persons and entities conducting virtual assets activities will need to be licensed or officially registered by SEC, the Bank of Ghana, based on their activities. Now, SEC and the Bank of Ghana will issue guidelines and other regulatory instruments to operationalize the Act. For the avoidance of doubt, the SEC shall license and regulate the following virtual asset services under the Act: virtual asset exchanges, virtual asset trading platforms, issuance tokenization, exchange traded funds, virtual asset managers, virtual asset investment advisor, the brokerage. There's also virtual asset advocacy, virtual asset mining and validation, and virtual asset sandbox on security. And says that it assures the general and investing public of its continued diligence and unwavering commitment to fostering a safe, efficient, fair and transparent virtual asset ecosystem in which investors are protected and market integrity is upheld. Why is this bill important?
Yes, this bill is very important in a lot of respect. Because before this, we started working on this bill, we had to do some surveillance to see if government or Ghana was exposed to crypto assets.
Okay.
And we did. We realized that last year alone, about $5 to $6 billion worth of crypto transactions passed through within Ghana, in and out of Ghana.
5 to 6 billion.
This year alone, as at November, we had crossed the $10 billion mark of crypto transactions in and out of Ghana. Now that is huge. That is very, very significant that you cannot ignore. Now the question arises whether these exposures should be go unmonitored, unchecked, or unregulated. Because the fluid nature of crypto makes it impossible to stop people from using it. So whether you regulate it or not, they're going to use it anyway.
They're going to do it, yeah.
So it's better, considering the risk associated with it, its AML, CFT implications, and how it affects financial stability, general financial stability. So it's better you put in systems in place to check its usage and applications, to have real-time visibility over its usage, and be able to control how it affects the economy. And so that's the entire purpose of this bill, is to ensure that crypto is used properly in ways and manner that affect the economy.
Okay.
That it is not abused, it is not used for money laundering and terrorism financing, but most importantly, it does not apply in ways and manner that affect financial stability, because it has a lot of implications for our financial market. And that's why this bill had to go through extensive and rigorous work. And I'll say that perhaps this is one of the most widely consultative bill the country has ever passed, because it had to go through a lot of consultation stages. In fact, the bill itself was drafted together with market operators, so the Bank of Ghana, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Financial Intelligence Center, the Cybersecurity Authority, the Ministry of Finance, and GRA worked on this bill. came up with a draft. Before we even sent the draft to the Attorney General's Department for comment, we met the Finance Committee of Parliament, went through the bill with them clause by clause, what we call a pre-laying engagement with the Finance Committee of Parliament. As part of the drafting process, before a final document was finalized and sent to the Attorney General for comment and directions, and then the final one was finalized and sent to the Ministry of Finance, who prepared the final draft for cabinet approval, went to cabinet, and then went to Parliament. You know, and so it went through a lot. And so before the bill even got to Parliament, the members of Parliament, especially the members of the Finance Committee and the Communication Subcommittee of Parliament, already were abreast with the bill. In fact, they helped us write most part of the bill. And so it became much easier. It became much easier. And that is why you saw that the bill received a bipartisan, consensus in the passage of the bill. And I want to thank the minority in Parliament, especially the former Finance Minister, Dr. Amin Anta, who was very instrumental in helping us, Dr. Kabidu, and then also the chairman of the Finance Committee, Honorable Isaac Adongo, very, very exceptional with his guidance.
They all came together to help
He helped us in making sure that we had a very potent regulatory framework that will cover the various aspects of virtual assets to protect financial stability, because that was the focus, to protect financial stability and to ensure that our financial systems are strengthened and that crypto can be applied properly and it can assimilate well within our financial system.
Right.
And so that was the work that was done.
We've seen other countries who deal in crypto and how that is helping them. But again, my question is about capacity. Do we have that? Do we have the capacity to understand what crypto is and all that is associated with that?
It will shock you. The kind of understanding, the technical expertise the team at Bank of Ghana and SEC has in the crypto space, it will shock you.
Right.
Yes, very, very, very technical understanding of the subject matter. And especially for us as SEC, crypto is basically a lot of the things that we deal with. And even the Bank of Ghana, most of their fintech assets, if you understand mobile money and how it works, it creates a very good foundation for crypto to be understood. Okay? Virtual asset basically means money you cannot touch.
Yeah.
Resources or assets that you cannot
you cannot touch.
Yeah, just like physical cash. So it's like a substitute for fiat currency. So basically, so the foundation is there. What we are going to do is to deploy adequate technology to be able to help us in the surveillance of the space. And I want to assure you that the systems that we are going to deploy will give us real-time visibility over all crypto transactions within the jurisdiction of this country. And so once you are in the country and you perform a transaction within the borders of this country, the system will pick it up.
Some would argue that even those with the system do have some challenges with that.
No. For example, if you take a country like Dubai, who we're working with on a number of these systems, and we are taking a lot of cue from them, you can't do a crypto transaction in Dubai and go unnoticed.
Okay.
You cannot. Once you're within the borders of this country, the system will pick you up.
So once you get into Ghana,
once you're within the geographical borders of this country, every crypto transaction you perform will be picked up by the system.
Okay.
Again, we will have real-time visibility over the exchanges where the crypto happened, the trading platforms where the settlement and clearing happens. Then the movement. Again, because it's a blockchain, and blockchain is a universal ledger, where everybody in the world have visibility. And it cannot be altered. That's why it is crypto. So the crypto comes from the crypted, like a crypted message.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. So even in terms of data, the kind of linkages we have with other, regulatory partners, in the world, can make us track how. So you see that recently EOCO has been able to track her, some crypto asset that was stolen. They've been able to track her up to and be able to retrieve it. Yes, so because it's difficult not to leave digital footprints once you're operating in that
space. So it means that money laundering, everything, it cannot happen.
Yes, and we're going to set up very strong anti-money laundering standards and reporting for our market operators.
Okay.
And our guideline will clearly spell out those reporting requirements and standards. And we're going to be very strict in enforcing those standards. And so if you intend to use crypto to launder money, please, it won't work in this jurisdiction. Just go elsewhere. The KYC and onboarding mechanisms, reportings that we're going to give to the market operators before they can onboard you, either on an exchange, either as a wallet service provider, either as a trading, settlement, and clearing platform, all those onboarding KYC requirements will be standardized. Yes. And just like banking systems, the Ghana card is going to be the sole verifiable, identity for that.
Okay. With what you have said, how are you engaging the operators, those who did in crypto, the ordinary Ghanaians, all of us, to be able to understand what this bill is? Is there a line of activities? Is there anything like that to be able to help us understand that?
So there's a lot of activities. So that's why I said, first, let me say that as of today, we're happy to announce that the president has signed a bill into law. So now it's not virtual asset service provided bill anymore. So it's an act of parliament now. So the law, now that the law has been passed and assented to by the president, the Bank of Ghana and SEC are developing our guidelines to personalize the bill. Apart from that, there are sensitization programs that have been developed to sensitize market operators, to sensitize various stakeholders in the system, financial institutions, fund management companies, traders. I mean, from the top up to the lowest level, the judiciary, even members of the executive. And so we'll do a lot of sensitization in the coming weeks to get people to understand really what the import of the bill is, what it intends to do, and how they can benefit from it, how they can use it properly in a way and manner that augur well for our economy. And so as for the sensitization and public education, you can rest assured that we are not relenting on it. It's fully in our plan to roll out these public educations for people to understand really what is happening.
Okay, great. Meta Thompson is still here as the Deputy Director General for the Securities and Exchange Commission. We're talking about the virtual asset. So now it's an act, as they mentioned, that the President has signed. So it's an act of Parliament, and a lot has been put in place to sensitize. But I want to get into the conversation of the stakeholders. How is everybody coming on board? How is everybody, making sure that they understand what this bill is and trying to make sure that they align with what SEC wants to achieve with this?
Well, I mean, so first of all, let it be clear that there are two key regulators in the virtual asset space.
Okay.
The Bank of Ghana and then the SEC.
Okay.
The Bank of Ghana is going to license and regulate, stable coins, the issuance of stable coins, wallet service providers, and then the conversion services. If you have CD and you want to convert it to crypto, if you are crypto, so the buy and selling, the lending and borrowing, all those things is going to be done by the central bank. Okay, so there's a lot of engagement going on with the market operators in that space. The SEC is going to regulate the exchanges, the trading platforms, the tokenization of the virtual assets, the brokerage, the mining and validation, the advocacy, and what have you.
Okay.
Now, all these operators are going to be sensitized. But because we are now working on the guidelines, we want to complete those guidelines because a lot of the information will be carried out in the guidelines.
Okay.
And so once a guideline is completed, that's when then the proper sensitization of the market operators begin. So that those who want to operate as exchanges know what are the key licensing requirements to be an exchange. If I want to be a broker in the virtual asset space, what are the key licensing requirements? What do I have to do? What is the minimum capital requirement? What are the onboarding criteria? What structure of company do I have to set up? All those things will be issued in a guideline. And so we will appeal to you to be patient. Let us issue the guidelines, and once the guidelines is issued, you'll be able to know exactly how we intend to operationalize the various service provision in the virtual asset space.
Okay. How are you going to regulate or get people to come on board and be licensed? And because already, as you mentioned, whether like it or not, it is even being that people are doing it already.
Well, we don't have to force anybody to come and license. Like I said, our system will be deployed and have visibility. So if you're a service provider and you're operating in our space, we can block you.
Okay.
We can block you. We can, there's a lot of functionalities of the systems that we can take you out and all that. And so, but thankfully, even when we're working on the bill, the market operators were eager, because a lot of the big crypto exchanges and companies, they are more comfortable when there is a legal framework in place, because it also protects them as well.
Protects them.
And so they are even happy to come on board to be licensed and properly regulated, so that they can build trust and be able to operate their business freely and fairly. And so, and I don't think it's an area we're going to have difficulty with. We already have them, and we are in constant conversations with them.
All right, and as we do on the show, when we have conversations like this, we want to have your input, and so you can call us on 0245-834-980. The number is on the screen. Give us a call if you've got any question to ask about the cryptocurrency bill or the virtual assets bill, which is now an act as it's been signed by the president. You can always share that with us on our social media handles at Metro TV Ghana, also on DSTV 277. You're watching us live on there, and you're listening to us on radio. It is 94.1 FM. My name is Desmond Krekudanso. So 0245-834-980 is the number you can call and ask any question or share your thoughts on any of the things that we're discussing here on the show. If this is done really well, how much is envisioned that Ghana could get from this?
First, the key primary benefit of passing the Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill, and I'm happy to say that if anybody thinks that the stability we have seen on the exchange rate front, on the strength of the cedi against the US dollar, if anybody thinks that that is a 9-day wonder, the passage of this bill should assure you that it is not a 9-day wonder.
Mr. Thompson, let me hold you. We've got a first caller on the line. Hello, good afternoon. Happy New Year in advance. What's your name and where you're calling us from?
Isaac from Kumasi, Kwabere East.
Okay, great. Talk to us. Oh,
okay, thank you. Sir, program so many akwenya mabaso a me pese me kire ma adwene. De me pese me kan kakra efa Mr. Thompson ho. Say, onzo di kan busa na se mi say first no wa sepa enene aban no afa na ma oba be ye adwuma aboa oman no. Enti se nipa bi kan sem bi fa ne ho a emane nye den enha no se nipa bi kan sem aye den e di afa ne ho. Eno na mpese ho question no busa no se na wontimi nhye da answer me ye because me
no dey we ya no we ntianka
me hu ya no de ma o de ba ye no because me ma hwe ma monitor ni bebre first o asepa no oko program
Send this is or adwuma nti ano bi na bill no wo mo de aba no nti anka wo asemisa about crypto bill na say na obi betumi
so anya bill no nko ho asem no kan yo wase abeka economy kra ho asem ho eso economy ne wa ma economy nti no ba
Okay, yeah, that's that's
what you say.
Matthias, it's Becca Chan say Maniti will be a
bill no. And no more was about Opa and was all the economic crown once a day. But discussing is not about economy.
Right. But it's entered Becca say Becca Chan say Obiaka say be a manifi. Why?
Oh, the answer there be a Becca, your back money turn so obey a penny idiot. Yes, you ever can't someone find a hosa because you won the Casa or Ghana.
Okay, yeah, that's
it. Belong to political party, but not the owner no crowd.
Yeah, that's it. Right, so thank you very much for calling. So that's I guess that's one of our new favorite callers. He's been calling on the show. Afishapa, it has to be self friend. When you call, let's talk about if you have any questions about the crypto. Say, okay, so I'm now speaking to you. That how do you get to be on? We have another caller. Hello, good afternoon. Where you're calling us from?
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Johnson calling from Adenta.
Right, Johnson. You've got any question about crypto?
Yes. My question to our minister.
Deputy Director General of SEC.
Yes. Yeah, what he can tell us about Pi network and its development, its ecosystem. Yes, since SEC is going to be regulating the Pi network, what is the government's preparedness in working with the Pi community in Ghana?
Working with who?
The Pi network community in Ghana. Pi is a crypto.
Okay, right. So thank you. I think I've gotten your question, but please, when you call, for those who are listening to radio and also on TV, please lower the volume of your set and talk to me via the phone, right? Talk to me via the phone so we can have a very good conversation. So he's asking that, how are you going to connect with the community, the crypto community in Ghana, to make sure that they understand these things and work on them?
Like I said, we've engaged the Blockchain Association of Ghana,
okay,
which most of these people are part of, in the drafting process of the bill, and they are very much aware with everything that we are doing. And the crypto space is an open space. Right. It's a space to ensure financial inclusion. If you have the capacity, if you want to do it, as far as you do it within the framework that has been developed in the law and then the guidelines and directives that we're going to be issued, you're okay. You're free to use it.
Right. So when the law is out, the guidelines will be spelled in there, and then you just need to follow that. Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah, I just spoke earlier on. You didn't get my question. My question is specifically about the Pi community. Pi is a specific community in Ghana. Yes. How are they dealing with the Pi community specifically? I believe he knows about it. We want to hear that.
And what does this community do?
The Pi is a crypto on its own. Okay. And we have a huge community in Ghana.
Okay. So it's a type of crypto?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm going to ask him. Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, so let's take two more callers and then we can wrap up with that, and then Mr. Thompson will continue with the answering of the questions. So you can call us now. The number is on the screen. Give us a call, please. We're not talking about Asapa. We're talking about his role as the Deputy Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Iram, calling from La Paz.
Iram, can you please lower the volume of your set?
Okay.
Talk to me.
My name is Aaron, calling from La Paz.
Okay, go ahead.
One thing about this thing that they are talking about, sometimes we Africans, we are comparing ourselves to the Europeans and Americans, but we have to understand that they are always trying to do something that will favor them. The Europeans and Americans, they always have features for Africans. But you don't know. Look at the rules and regulations that they are giving you to keep your own countries. You understand? Imagine, you look at the amount that it was mentioned that, a year, if you transaction across Ghana and outside Ghana. Imagine. So you want to block all of these things and this money all, like, I don't know, look at the street. You see, in Ghana street, and then when you find going to boy and you, some of the boys on the street.
Hold on. He didn't say that the commission was going to stop it. He said that it is now a law, and so there are going to be guidelines on how it will be used in Ghana.
Okay, we understand.
Okay.
We understand what you're saying.
Right.
But please, it's better they would try to do something that will favor boys on the street or like people on the street.
They should do something that will favor the boys on the streets. Okay, thank you very much, Abraham. I get your point. So, Abraham, he says that you are coming to clear them off what they've been getting. So, I now get to the Pi. It's a cryptocurrency operating on the Ethereum platform, focusing on decentralized finance and lending protocols. So, he's asking that, is there a way of...
See, the bill encompasses all virtual asset service providers.
Virtual service, okay.
Yes, we don't have a specific provision for any virtual asset currency or anybody.
Okay.
Everybody will be subjected to the same standards.
Okay.
As other market operators.
Okay.
And so if there's something that they need to do or they want to do, if there's an innovation service or whatever it is, they can reach out to us and we can discuss it and see how we can guide them in implementing it. But we don't have anything for any specific crypto product.
Right. Mr. Mensah, Mr. Thompson, 2025 is done. We're getting into 2026. You say we should expect more good works as has already started in 2025. As we wrap up on this, people are watching. A few years back, if you heard about SEC, SEC was always in the news.
For the wrong reasons.
for the wrong reasons, right? So what can you promise us for 2026?
That we're going to develop the market.
Okay.
We're going to expand alternative products in the market for our fund managers to be able to have options and divest away from government instruments. That there's going to be a lot of capital available for capital raising. So companies and entities, corporate organizations, please come onto the market. At the Financial Stability Council, we're encouraging a number of financial institutions, especially the banks, to also come and list on the stock exchange, come to the market. And we're happy that at least First Atlantic Bank set the pace, Cal Bank followed. 2026, we are likely to see a number of banks also coming to the market to raise capital to expand. A few OMCs. As we speak, there are 2 OMCs that are listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange, Total Energies and GOIL. Total is an external company, GOIL is a government entity. We received an application for an IPO by a local OMC, which we are currently working on, and we're hoping that in the coming years, a number of OMCs will also follow to offload some of their profitability to Ghanaians, and to be able to raise adequate capital for a lot of the infrastructure development and expansion that they want to make in their various activities.
Right.
But most importantly, we want to assure the pension funds that
that's a crucial one, though.
That they are going to get a lot of alternatives on the market in the coming year to be able to put their money. So the trustees should be rest assured. And as regulators, we ensure that whatever alternatives that is coming onto the market is properly scrutinized. It has the capacity to host a lot of the resources that are going to be thrown into it. And we can protect the market, we can protect the integrity of our financial systems, and also to protect the ordinary investor. And so that's all we promise you, that next year is going to be a better year for the capital market.
Right. Thank you very much. Any wishes?
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone, especially to the hardworking and incredible team at the Securities and Exchange Commission, especially to the Director General, Dr. James Kluche Aveji, enormous, phenomenal man. To a team of incredible staff who are working day and night, even in the festive seasons. We are working, we are in the office.
No, in the office.
And I should tell you that we work all year round trying to ensure that our market is safe and that people can invest safely. And so I want to extend this heartfelt wishes to all of you. And to His Excellency the President and his wife, Mrs. Lordina Mahama, and everybody, I just want to say a Merry Christmas, and a happy new year. And to all of you here at Metro TV as well. Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much. So that's it for the show today. But before I go to that, I want to bring everybody on set. So I see makeup. Please come. We're done with the show. This is our last show for 2025. Yes. So he should meet everybody. Okay, great. So Shadrach, our presidential correspondent, is also here. We have our light director, Mr. Awatri, is here. Camera team, Senior Tio, presidential camera technician, the guys in the control room. I know they cannot come. They cannot come here. they cannot come in here. But to Kiki Brown, David Brown, to Joshua. Hey, Alex is coming. Sound is coming. So, and to the producer of the show today, Bright Jaka, to all the producers, Derek Adote, Auntie Sandra, Eugenia Kofakumi, to Akosie Friye, everybody. I want to say big thank you to you for always tuning in. To the directors, I can't mention everybody's name, and everybody. Thank you. So, are you going to sing for them?
I'm not singing. You were Santa, so maybe we'll sing after the show.
Oh, Mr. Okran is here. Okay. Mr. Okran, Alote, all of you.
No, I can't sing.
All of you, come. That's our last show for the year, so let people see those who work behind the scenes. All right, so thank you. Kiki, what are you saying, director?
What's Kiki saying?
Oh, Kiki says he's missed out on it. So, Afi come to Yesubio. Afi shapa come to Yesubio. Afi shapa come to Yesubio. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. My name is Desmond Okrekuda. So see you in 2026. We're out. Bye-bye.
This December, Faith Life Church crowns the year with 2 unforgettable nights of worship and power. On Tuesday, 30th December at 7 p.m., get ready for a transformational encounter, a night of music ministration featuring Team Eternity, Akese Brimpong, the Faith Life Collective, guest minister, Pastor Emmett Konedu. Then, on Wednesday, 31st December at 9 p.m., join us for a glorious watch night service as we cross from 2025 into 2026 under open heavens. With MOG Music and the Faith Life Collective leading